Howdy everyone, and welcome back to Southbound I-35, your stop for Texas country and red dirt music news and reviews, where you won't have to worry about those Nashville blues. This week I'll be covering the sold-out Shane Smith and the Saints pre-release concert for their new upcoming album Geronimo, reviewing Sam Rigg's album Outrun the Sun, and more social media shoutouts. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy your cruise down Southbound I-35, the road that always takes you home. This past Saturday, I went to the Shane Smith and the Saints Geronimo album pre-release at Parrish in downtown Austin. To say it was a good time would be a total understatement. It was fantastic. Thanks for everyone who was following my live tweeting of the concert. Y'all may or may not have noticed at first, but I had made a minor photo attribution mistake. You see, initially, based on all the billings prior to the concert, I was led to believe that Folk Family Revival was the only band opening for Shane Smith. So, when a man and woman working as an acoustic duo get up on stage and start performing, yeah. Luckily, I was soon corrected by Folk Family Revival's manager, and I quickly corrected myself on Twitter. Despite what I initially thought, the opening duo was Zach Nytomt and Haley Cole, two great vocalists who worked very well together. Zach Nytomt is originally from Argyle, Texas, and now lives in the Hill Country. And according to his website, he's got a voice that seems so familiar, but you're certain you've never heard it before. And certainly, if you were to go hear him on the radio, you could easily confuse him with someone else, but if you check out his music, you'll see that he has his own unique sound with that mellow voice of his. His lineup included Love Street Blues, among others, and he did a great job. If you want to see him live, he'll be at the Austin Airport Saxon Pub on August 21st, Grapevine in Greene, Texas on August 29th, and Poor David's Pub in Dallas, Texas on September 5th. You can check out more of his music at ZachNytomt.com and follow him on his Twitter at twitter.com/ZachNytomptmusic. Links, of course, are in the description. Next up was Haley Cole. Haley Cole is originally from Birch Creek, Texas, but is now based out of San Marcos. According to her bio on her website, she's known she was meant to sing since she was young, and man, does she have a great voice. The songs she writes are deeply personal, and you just have to check them out. Her lineup was varied and included her song Existence. If you want to catch her live, she'll be opening for Will Hogue at Hills Cafe in Austin, Texas on August 26th, Sam's Burger Joint in San Antonio on August 27th, and the Grand Stafford Theater in Bryan, Texas on August 28th. You can find out more on her website at haleycole.com and follow her on Twitter at twitter.com/HaleyColeMusic. Both Haley and Zach met Shane and his band this year at Music Fest in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. After Zach and Haley were finished, Folk Family Revival came up. The real one this time. Bucking genres, they fall somewhere between psychedelic folk and country rock, but rooted in good old Southern tradition. And man, do they know how to put on a great show. They had a strong stage presence, great instrumentation, and a great lead singer. They performed a lot of songs including I Drew a Line and Everyone Loves Everyone, while exploring a wide range of styles from rock to more traditional country. I picked up their album Water Walker and look forward to listening to it. If y'all want to catch them in person, they will be at the Kessler Theater in Dallas, Texas on August 21st, the Studio at Warehouse Live in Houston, Texas on August 23rd, and Leftwoods in Amarillo, Texas on August 28th. You can check out more of their music at folkfamilyrevival.com and follow them on Twitter at twitter.com/folkfamily. Y'all might have heard a familiar sound in all three of these performances, and that would be Bennett Brown from Shane Smith and the Saints' Fiddling Genius. In almost every concert I've seen of them, he plays with all of the openers, and I don't know how he does it. And then, of course, Shane Smith and the Saints took the stage and went through some of their old sets, plus a whole lot of new songs from their new album, Geronimo. As I mentioned in my review of their past album, Coast, they came out of East Texas and are known for their storytelling songs and sheer emotion that they put into the music. They did an amazing job with Shane Smith singing a duet with Haley Cole, and at the end of the show, Folk Family Revival and Zach Nytomt came up on the stage to sing one last song all together. Peppered throughout was Shane giving the backstories of his songs and stories of his tours. Their lineup included a cover of the Band and Heathens' Hurricane, Whiskey and Water, All I See Is You, and Shady Grove. They delivered a high-energy performance and had the entire place packed. I got a copy of their upcoming album, but I'm not allowed to review it yet. But after it gets released on September 11th, be sure to tune in, because by then I'll have given it a good listen and will have plenty to say about it. You'll can get some previews of his songs, though, if you catch him live, which may be difficult if you're in Texas. But after a few private events, they will be at the Cowboy Saloon in Laramie, Wyoming on August 29th, the Gas Lamp in Des Moines, Iowa on September 2nd, and Bub City in Chicago, Illinois on September 3rd. You can find out more tour dates and more of their music on ShaneSmithMusic.com and follow them on Twitter at twitter.com/ShaneSmithMusic. And now for an album I do have permission to review. Sam Rigg is a country music powerhouse whose songwriting skills have landed him a #1 on the CMT Pure 12-pack with When the Lights Go Out. His song Collide featured on the show Nashville, and numerous accolades from magazines such as Texas Music Magazine, Country Weekly Magazine, and Billboard's The 615. His lyrics carry a lot of weight and power, and as I mentioned in my coverage of his performance at Floors, he himself can play multiple instruments, and on top of that, he's a very down-to-earth guy if you get a chance to meet him. His sound is firmly rooted in southern rock, but can go more traditional when needed. Outrun the Sun is his second album, and it has some amazing songs. Outrun the Sun begins on a very high-energy note with Long Shot. Long Shot is a very dramatic and urgent-sounding song about a love worth trying to reclaim. And going for that chance, no matter how small it is, because doing nothing will mean that it will end. With heavy drums, a blend of electric guitars, and just enough steel guitar, and Sam's unique voice, it all comes together to express the unfading will of a very determined person indeed. On and off again relationships can take their toll on a person. This song is for all those who have ever been in one of those relationships where they just couldn't say no, that just couldn't help themselves when their on-off lover asks them to come back again, even when they know it won't work out. A steady banjo, blend of guitar, and upbeat drums come together to express that foolish hope. Oilfield Town is a small-town anthem that, in the fine tradition of Texan small-town anthems, doesn't tone down the reality of hardship like most Nashville songs do. To juxtapose the two, Nashville small-town songs portray small towns as happy-go-lucky places where everything goes right, everyone goes fishing, and parties at a bonfire every night, and people find tractors sexy or something. Backed up by a low bass line, rocking guitar, and rolling banjo, it is a rough and raw description of what it's like to live in Oilfield Town with all its ups and downs, all sung with an air of pride. Collide is a driving rock-oriented story song about two broken-hearted young people, their search for completeness, and what happens when they meet. With great imagery, great emotion, and lively electric guitar tracks, this is a song that's best listened to while out on the dance floor with someone special. Outlining the feeling of being head over heels for someone and walking on eggshells as you try and figure out exactly what to do to win your lover's heart, The Chase delivers an honest, straightforward lament that isn't afraid to be vulnerable. With touches of steel guitar, their signature electric guitar, and once again plenty of emotion, this is another high-energy song that would make for a great run out on the dance floor. If you haven't noticed already, Sam Rigg has a great way of taking ideas for songs that would normally be slow and sad, and spinning them into upbeat songs that keep the intended emotion but don't mope around, but keep their eye on the goal. Someone else's love song keeps that going. Despite the memories that torture him, he distances himself by reminding himself that the lover that left him is now part of someone else's love song. With its driving beat, Angola's Lament is a song in a similar vein to Blake Shelton's Ole Red, but from the perspective of a guard describing the goings-on in a prison farm in Louisiana, and recounting the crime of passion that brought one prisoner there, accompanied by the moaning lament sung by all the prisoners. Low guitar and staccato banjo accompany the story and reflect the scorching heat of the midday sun. Another big feature of Sam's songs is them being thoughts in someone's head instead of just describing an event and how it feels, which gives you an understanding of the thought and intent behind the actions and events involved. This gives a refreshing level of depth to his songs that many musicians often miss. His songs also require more than just a cursory listen. I have to admit that the first time I heard Hold On and Let Go on the radio, I didn't like it. This was because I thought the chorus was just about him being defensive about being pulled over after driving drunk. But after I actually listened to it, I understood what was really going on. Dealing with the opinions of others about the relationship you're in and deciding not to care about them. It's a slow, passionate song that had lots of people dancing in the crowd when I first heard it live.
It's like trouble's gonna find us no matter what we try.
Lighthouse seems to continue the theme found in Hold On and Let Go, but talking about the events that led up to that. What led up to him deciding that this relationship was the one worth fighting for. It's another thought exploration song that comes with a lot of energy, and did I mention that Sam Rigg's songs are entirely danceable? Because they are.
Never been the kind of turnaround. Shots fired, I went to ground. When you're back against the wall, you know exactly where I'll be.
Change stands in stark contrast to the rest of the album because it tackles a very serious issue. The damaging effects of acting out on one's anger, the wounds caused by the abuse on one's family, and examining oneself to make the changes needed to prevent it from ever happening again. As with Longshot, Change carries a sense of urgency and uses strong, powerful language that doesn't just focus on the deeds that have already been done, but comes together as a big call to action to make the changes that one needs to make to improve things for themselves and their own family. You know how you have some great music when after listening to it over and over to review, you actively want to keep listening to the songs afterwards. Outrun the Sun has that music, and lots of it. It features stories of love, struggle, joy, and pain, and does not mince words when it comes to honesty and vulnerability. Sam Rigg proved that he is not only a talented musician and vocalist, but also a powerful songwriter, with songs that people can relate to and learn from. Also, his songs are great for dancing. I mentioned last time that I struggled with reviewing Coast because of how meandering the songs were and the focus it required to stay on track. Well, with Outrun the Sun, my focus was assaulted with the overwhelming urge to find a dance hall that had these songs and find someone to one or two step with. I stayed strong though, but this weekend I'm gonna have to do something or I'm gonna go crazy. Hats off to you, Sam. You can buy Outrun the Sun on iTunes, Amazon, and at any Sam Riggs concert you might happen to find yourself at, as well as on his website, samriggsandthenightpeople.com. If you want to see him in person, you can find him at the Southwest Country Fest in Ashland, Kansas on August 21st, Boots in Amarillo, Texas on August 22nd, and the North Texas State Fair and Rodeo in Denton, Texas on August 28th. You can find out more of his tour dates as well as all of his music on his website, and you can also follow him on Twitter at twitter.com/SamRiggsMusic. And now to showcase some talented people I've met on Twitter. First off is Jordan Bishop from Baytown, Texas, who has a good voice, some good guitar skills, and a knack for songwriting. This is his song, Grab My Crown. He's just starting to get a playlist of songs online, with his newest, This Is Good Night, being released on his YouTube channel earlier this week. Jordan Bishop is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Follow him on Twitter at twitter.com/Jordan_Bishop and subscribe to his YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/JordanBishop0405. The next shoutout goes to Jason Kane White. Jason is from West Texas, but based out of Austin now, and currently has an album and a single out, which you can check out on his Django page and on iTunes. This is his single, Never Let Go. For more information, you can follow him on Twitter at twitter.com/JasonKaneWhite and like him on Facebook. The final shoutout goes to Bryan Shane. Bryan Shane is a Louisiana Cajun who heard the call of Texas, relocated, and now calls Texas home. He's got a pretty good range going from classic rock and roll with a folk twang to more traditional country. This is his song, Sunshine Hair. You can download his music on iTunes and listen to his music on his website, bryanshane.com, and follow him on Twitter at twitter.com/BryanShaneBand. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I'm having a whole lot of fun making these, and I hope y'all enjoy them too. If you do, please take some time to rate and comment on them on iTunes. It really helps me out and will help Southbound I-35 be more visible on the iTunes charts. Once again, thanks for listening to Southbound I-35, the road that always takes you home. All songs featured on this episode of Southbound I-35 were used with permission from their respective artists. If you have any concerns about how I've used your music on my show, have any questions, or just want to say howdy, please feel free to email me at southboundpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/SBI35.